improvised shelter in the deep part of the ravine. Some of the hikers' clothing, which is 2 sweaters and pants, were found to be radioactive. Also, some of the clothes taken from the bodies underneath the cedar tree were placed on the cedar branches, but apparently they were not used.
I mean, sometimes I go on hikes and I just have to really wash my clothes afterwards because that radioactivity that you get from just going out, you know.
Yeah. You gotta watch out for the forest animals, man. They're all radioactive. You don't want them near you.
You gotta watch out for that radioactive Bigfoot, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, and your mic, yeah.
All right, so why don't we go back and recap real quick. On February 1st, the group ripped the tent open from the inside with a knife, and then they fled down the hill to that nearby forest. It was about 300 meters, and all of them were either barefoot or only wearing socks. All right, and then they lit a fire, stayed there for about 2 hours. After that, 3 of them, Igor, Zina, and Rustam, tried to come back to the camp. They failed and collapsed at different places. One's at 300, one at 480, and one at 630 meters from the fire pit. Krivani Senko, Yuri Doroshenko were waiting near the fire pit, and they had died from the cold around noon. The temperature of the area was estimated to be about -13 to -22 degrees.
Jesus.
I know. It's cold as hell. It's like as cold as your heart, Aaron.
Pretty much.
The one joke they had was before they left Vizay, when they were inside, they were just like, oh, your coffee is cold? Walk outside then. Your coffee will be hot then. That's how cold it was outside.
Damn.
Jeez.
It's like, damn.
All right, and then we have the rest of the group that decided to take the clothes off the dead bodies, and then they put them on, and then they went deeper into the woods. Okay, so 3 of the 4 of those guys had fatal injuries. A skull injury, a major chest fracture, and Dubanina was also missing her eyeballs and her tongue. These 4 students had died from an unknown compelling force, similar to someone being in a car crash. So that's a roundup of kind of the injuries, what's happened, recapping it all, and now we're going to kind of transition into the investigation of this event.
Of course, an investigation happened into the deaths of the students. It found no signs of struggle and no sign that other people or an animal had been involved with this incident, with these incidences. The case was closed in May of 1959 without any definite conclusions as to what had made these students flee from their tents and how 4 were fatally injured in the ravine had died. This effectively exonerated the native Mansi people, which were a peaceful tribe that was located in the area, who some thought might have attacked the group for being on their land. Others speculated that it was a large animal or even a Yeti or a Bigfoot. Now, before we get into these theories and start theorizing, hypothesizing, all that good stuff, let's go over some strange facts and findings first. So, Dan,
I had a question. So, I think it was recently, I think it was actually this year, they closed out again the investigation on it. Whoever was like the one investigating closed out the thing saying that it was an avalanche that killed them all. Like legit, that was what they finalized.
Well, how do you explain the radioactivity then? How do you explain the eyeballs and the tongue missing?
That's what they're like upset about. They're just like, this guy comes in and just says, oh, we're just going to conclude it was an avalanche.
Well, there's 2 things that doesn't sit with me well with the avalanche theory. Is the radioactivity and the eyeballs and tongue missing. Maybe if it was just the tongue missing, but the eyeballs missing because, what happened? How does the eyeballs go missing? And then the tongue, and then the radioactivity. Where the hell does that come from?
Yeah. So it was 2019 and March 15th. Prosecutor's office undergo expedition to Dyatlov Pass to test 3 theories: avalanche, snow slab, and hurricane. July 11th of 2020, Andrei Kurikov announces the conclusion of the new investigation. It was an avalanche. But then August 10th of this year, Krasnov reprimanded Kurikov. The investigation was warned of incomplete official compliance. So pretty much I guess he just tried to close it off just to get done with it. and then he got reprimanded for it. So I don't know if it's been reopened since that's only been half a month ago.
I mean, you give 3 options to go for, and none of them sound like any possible option for what actually happened.
No.
And why limit yourself to 3? If you're actually investigating something, then you are looking into all options. And please explain to me, Mr. Andre or whatever his name is, how do you lose eyes and tongue in an avalanche? Did she try to put her tongue out to catch the snow on it? And the force of the avalanche just ripped it out? Come on.
Yeah.
Only thing I could really think of for the tongue thing, was that she had got really bad frostbite
Oh.
and she bit down on her tongue and she fucking bit it off. But that's for later. We're gonna cut that out though.
Okay. All right. So let's move into strange facts and findings, and then we'll move into hypothesizing about what could have happened. All right, Dan, hit us with the first strange fact or finding.
All right. The first one, meaning of the name. So the goal of the hikers was to reach Otorten Mountain. Something odd that we found was the translation of the name of the mountain. There are indigenous people that live near the mountain in Russia. Their language is Mansi. When you translate Otorten Mountain to their language, it translates to don't go there.
It's a little odd, right?
I'm really trying to think. Was it also called Death Mountain after that too?
I think I remember hearing that.
The Mountain of the Dead.
Is that the Otorten Mountain?
Yeah. It is, they call it Don't Go There, because the gates between them are considered sacred and dangerous since ancient times.
Ooh. Okay. Why would you want to travel there anyways? Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
The second strange fact we have is the autopsy. The medical examiner recorded that some of the corpses had livor mortis on the front. Given that such marks always form on the side of a body that has been pressed against the ground, this indicated that someone had turned them over after death.
This straight up contradicts what the investigation said, their conclusion in 1959, saying that there was no signs of struggle and no sign of other people or animal that had been involved. That right there confirms that animals or a person had to be involved.
Yeah, and to go with that, the tent was, it was all mangled up, but they found that on the tent it was actually cut from the inside.
From the inside, yeah.
Run out. So, something had to be going after him. Come on now.
Yeah. You have to be absolutely petrified to do any means necessary to get out of a tent. A tent has a zipper. And I know, have you ever been camping before? Oh yeah, me too. And you want to leave, you got to pee real bad in the morning, and you're like, where is that zipper? You grab it, you put it around, and guess what? It pulled the other zipper, and now you're stuck inside still. So, of course, I get their struggle. Just cut out of that bitch and just go through the whole, like you're being rebirthed into the world.
like on Ace Ventura, Pet Detective, when he comes out of that
Yes.
rhino.
Yes.
Look, everyone,
Yeah.
the rhino's giving birth.
All right, what's this last strange fact and finding we have?
All right, and then the final strange fact we have is Dubinina's premonition. Supposedly before they got to Dyatlov Pass, she was writing in her diary about how she was sad and didn't have a good feeling about things. In her diary, she wrote on January 27th, and I quote, "Now most of the guys sit here and sing songs to the guitar. On the occasion that they do not work today, it seems that this is the last time we heard so many good new songs. But we hope that Rustic will live up to the challenge." So it's being questioned that she had a premonition of the fact that she knew this would be the last time they heard any song singing or playing and on the guitar because of what she wrote in her diary, which there's a lot more to it. We'll put a link up for that to where you can go and read pretty much all of their diary entries and stuff.
Yeah, they got a lot of diary entries. All right, so those are the strange facts and findings. Not a lot, but I'll tell you what we do have a lot of. And that's a lot of theories.
There were a lot of theories with this one.
A lot, which let's just dive right into them, okay?
Do it.
So, Anna, do you want to give us the first theory?
I would love to start us off with talking about the gravity